the official launch of Labor Day Activities 2026, a celebration of workers. Let's give the workers a round of applause, please. This activity is organized by the Departments of Labor, Cooperatives, and Consumer Affairs in collaboration with the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation and the St. Lucia Employers Federation. And today is a real special day. And you know, I got a quote just before we officially kick off with the national anthem. And it says that Labor Day celebrates the dignity, dedication, and invaluable contribution of working people. It highlights the importance of hard work and productivity, while also recognizing the need for rest and renewal. At its core, the observance reflects on achievements earned through efforts and underscores the value of taking a well-deserved break. So today, that break will be outside as well in the form of entertainment for you. The department has thought of everything. So I invite you to stand while we invite Miss Tabitha Prosper to sing the national anthem in Creole. No, that round of applause was just too little. Thank you very much, Tabitha. Now, I could have sang it, but I didn't want to show my Creole skills, so Tabitha volunteered to do it. And I ask you to remain on your feet because we have a praise and worship session for you. I mean, it is a privilege to have workers in any place because the workers are the heartbeat of every single employment place. And the workers are what generates all the economic activity in St. Lucia. Without workers, there's no business. But we have to say, glory to God, no matter what it is that we have to do. And so we call on Achille Biro and Vincent Pierre to do a praise and worship session with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're just here to lift up the name of God for a few minutes with you guys, so please feel free to sing along as we lift up the name of God. Amen.
From my enemies. 'cause I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has called my name, and I've been born again into a family. Your blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. I am If you know this next one, please feel free to sing along with us. A thousand generations falling down in worship to sing the song of ages to the Lamb. And all have gone before us, all who will believe, to sing the song of ages to the Lamb.
Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name
Stands above them all thrones and dominions, all powers and positions. Your name stands above them all, and the angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever. And if you've been forgiven, if you've been redeemed, sing the song forever to the Lamb. And if you walk in freedom, if you bear His name, sing the song forever to the Lamb. We'll sing the song forever and amen. Holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever. Let your people say, holy, to the King of Kings. Holy, you will always be. Holy, holy forever.
Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all. Come on, sing all thrones and dominions, all powers and positions. Your name stands above them all. Come on, we're gonna do this one more time. You sing.
Your name is the highest, your name is the greatest, your name stands above them all. All thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name stands above them all. And the angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever. Let your people say, holy, to the King of Kings. Holy,
Thank you, everybody. Please have your seat. And while you're having your seat, if you would feel inspired by what you just heard, give a round of applause to the two individuals who just came here. And let me repeat their names, Ashel Biro and Vincent Pierre. Excellent. Now, we have to acknowledge the persons in the room. But while they were singing, one of the quotes that I had there came to me. And it says, labor transforms ideas into reality and effort into achievement. It is the true engine of progress and development. And they really inspired us as to what it is, how it is we need to start off this Labor Day activity. So let me establish the persons who are in the room, our protocol. And before I continue, my name is Glenn Simon. I'll be your master of ceremonies. I have a habit of forgetting that I haven't introduced myself. Oh, I see Fiona. Hello, Fiona. So we have our minister, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, Minister for Equity, Social Justice, Gender, Older Persons, Labor, Cooperatives, and Consumer Affairs. Senator Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot. She is our former Labor Minister, and she wears many hats, but today she is our former educator and trade unionist. Mr. Auguste Degazon, Cabinet Secretary, Office of the Prime Minister. We have Miss Carla Orenas. Oh, okay, I messed it up a little bit. Carla Orenas, and she is the Charge d'Affaires, Mexican Embassy, and our other diplomats. I'm not sure if any of the others are here. We have also Dr. Johnny Masabayana, and he is the director of the ILO Decent Work Team and Office of the Caribbean. He also has two other colleagues with him. Ingelin Keynes, Senior Program Officer, and Pablo Arieno, Social Dialogue and Labor Relations Specialist. We have Ms. Sheila Imbert, and she's the Permanent Secretary, Departments of Labor, Cooperatives, and Consumer Affairs. Her Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Barbara Ann Francis Augustine. The Deputy Labor Commissioner, Mr. Nikolai Lancico. We also have some real special people in the room, as it is this activity represents and celebrates labor and labor organizations. We have Mr. George Goddard, and he's the former General Secretary, NWU. Mr. Julian Monrose, he is the President of the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation. Mr. Athanasius Dolor, former President, General Workers Union. Mrs. Crescentia Philip John, former General Secretary, Seamen and Waterfront Workers Union. Mr. Lawrence Poyot, and he is the trade unionist and former National Workers Union official. And we also have Ms. Cornelia Jabatis, and she's the former Labor Commissioner and the current Executive Director of the Employers Federation. Let me also recognize all the staff of the Department of Labor, also performers, specially invited guests, members of the media and NTN recording, the production team here. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So I hope nobody comes and tries it. Oh, we also have our stakeholders, Ladera, and Ladera has promised that if I mention them, I will get a free stay at the hotel. So let's welcome Ladera. And also we have Fix. I hope Fix is in the room. So if they're not here, they'll be here later. So welcome to this very special event. Don't mind that the numbers look like they're small. Actually, from here, some of you are sinking into the chairs with your red chairs, red shirt. I could barely see you. I'm seeing heads from here. But there are many, many people here, and there will be more viewing this activity online because this is a wonderful activity celebrating workers. So to give you the official welcome, allow me to call on Mr. Nikolai Lancico, and he's the Deputy Labor Commissioner, who will tell you even more about this activity. Let us welcome Mr. Lancico. I'd like to adopt the protocol that has already been established. Good afternoon. Today, as we observe Labor Day, under the theme, Celebrating Workers, we do more than commemorate. We recognize, we reflect, and we recommit. At the heart of every economy is the simple truth. Workers are the engines of production. Land, capital, and enterprise create the structure, but it is labor that gives it life. It is the worker who builds, serves, innovates, and sustains. Without labor, there is no productivity, no growth, and no development. Across St. Lucia, our workers continue to demonstrate resilience, adaptability, and determination. Whether it is in the public service, tourism, agriculture, construction, or the growing digital economy, their contributions remain the driving force behind national progress. But celebrations must go beyond recognition. It must be matched with protection, empowerment, and inclusion. The trade union movement, remains central to this effort. Unions have long stood as the voice of workers, advancing fairness, dignity, and equity in the workplace. They have helped secure better wages, safer conditions, and a stronger labor standard. Today, that role must evolve. Representation must extend to emerging sectors, contract workers, and those in non-traditional work arrangements. Stronger collaboration between the government, employers, and unions is essential if we are to meet the demands of a changing world. We are now entering a new frontier, one shaped by artificial intelligence, digital transformation, and remote employment. Artificial intelligence is no longer a future concept. It is already reshaping industries and redefining how work is done. At the same time, remote work has removed geographical barriers. A worker in St. Lucia can now compete and contribute globally, just as employers from any part of the globe can recruit talent right here in St. Lucia. This present moment presents both opportunities and challenges. The opportunities are clear. St. Lucia can position itself as a competitive, skilled, and digitally capable workforce within the global economy. The risk is equally clear. If we fail to adapt, our workers will be left behind. The question is not whether change will come. The question is, are we ready? We must act deliberately. This means investing in education and continuous skills development with a strong focus on digital literacy and technical competencies. It means modernizing our labor policies to address remote work, platform-based employment, and flexible work arrangements. In this regard, the government of St. Lucia has already taken steps to strengthen the protection and advancement of workers. Recently, it's been a year already, the implementation of the national minimum wage represents a significant milestone in ensuring that workers receive fair and adequate compensation for their labor. It reflects a clear commitment to improve the standard of living and promote greater equity within the workforce. Additionally, the ongoing review of the Labor Act marks a critical step in modernizing the legal framework. This process, which includes the development and refinement of supporting regulations, is intended to ensure our laws remain responsive to the realities of a changing world, while continuing to safeguard the rights and interests of workers. At the same time all of this is happening, we must hold firm to principle. The rights and protection of workers are not optional. Fair wages, safe conditions, reasonable hours, and access to social protection must apply to every worker, regardless of how or where that person works. For employers, investing in workers is not an expense, it is a necessity. A skilled, protected workforce drives productivity and long-term success. For the worker, this is a moment to adapt and grow. The future will reward those of you who are willing to learn, evolve, and seize new opportunities. For the government and institutions such as ours, the Department of Labor, the responsibility is clear. We must balance progress with protection. We must modernize without marginalizing. We must ensure that development remains fair, inclusive, and sustainable. Today, we celebrate workers. We recognize a fundamental truth. The strength of our nation lies not only in what we produce, but in how we value the people who produce it. Let this Labor Day be more than recognition. Let it be a commitment to building a future of work in St. Lucia that is resilient, inclusive, and forward-looking. To every worker, your contribution matters. Your rights matter, your future matter. Welcome to the Labor Day line. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Lancico. Well said, well said. And one thing that he said that resonated, he said, employers, investing in workers is a necessity. And you know, I have a little joke that I had, prepared ahead of time. So you better laugh. Once I tell you it's a joke, at the end, you just have to laugh. So there's this employer who seemed not to be concerned or understand the plight of the workers. So the employee comes to him and he says, boss, I'm burnt out. So the boss says, have you tried working through it? So the employee said, but boss, that's how I got burnt out. Very good. Okay, this side laughed more than this side. I'm watching, I'm keeping note. So we do have a performance for you, and we have a very special entertainer for you. And she's Shine Savory. And she's a prominent St. Lucian performance poet and journalist who made history in August 2025 by becoming the first ever WAPAX Poetry Slam champion at Carry Festa 15 in Barbados. Round of applause. And she'll be coming on to give you a special performance. At the end of it, we'll have a collection booth. Somebody will pass it around to take collections for her, and then I will manage that collection for her. Okay, so let's invite Shine Savory to the stage. Shine.
Good evening, good afternoon. I wasn't informed of any collections being taken on my behalf. Thank you, Mr. Simon. All right, happy Labor Day in advance, everybody. So I am going to be presenting a little spoken word piece called What Do You Do for Work? I want you to tell me, what's the first question you ask when you meet someone? Maybe, how are you? Moila works most days, or what's your name? That probably will never change, but what do you do for work? That's the one question that we only have some semblance of control of, and we'd love if we could decide what we say, like picking an occupation was as easy as choosing what shoes you're wearing that day. Like you could get on a plane, go to Bill Gates' office like you're ordering a sandwich at Subway and say, hey, can I get your highest salaried position, 3 months paid vacation, hold the customer service, pay in resume, and that's the end of the conversation. Oh, if only. For some of us, the career ladder is more like a calling, where every rung comes to you and what you do defines you, and like the line goes, do what you love and you never have to work a day in your life. It's passion and the fruits of your labor filling up your family's cup, running over. But we know that this world is built by those with, quote, just jobs. Those who show up and not show out to get that daily bread, and it's those who wait on waves of tourists on the rainy season, on whether that bread is a baker's dozen or the butt of a loaf. It's labor, sometimes the kind of labor that LinkedIn bios can't summarize, but nonetheless whose force can't be denied. And when they ask you, where do you work? Whatever the answer is, you wield it like your weapon well after you get that last paycheck, and when all else fails, you'll tell them, I am a citizen of St. Lucia, my employer is this land, and as long as I can, I'm not doing this for me alone. This is our home, our nation, our labor builds something greater than any job description. God bless the general managers, God bless the janitors, and everyone in between. The question truly is beyond what do you do? The question is, who are you? Thank you.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry for being so late to the front. I was actually looking for the collection basket. She finished a little too early. Give her a round of applause again, please. So, you know, I have a quote for you. I don't have another joke. So it says, labor is the backbone of every thriving society. Did I say that one already? No. Through honest work, we build together communities and a better future. And everything about today is about better communities. If people have decent work, they're all able to take care of their families. We have a better nation, less crime, less everything. And so this activity sets the stage to acknowledge the worker. And who best to tell us about, you know, what the government will be doing to help workers and to take care of workers even better than our very own minister, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, Minister for Equity, Social Justice, Gender, Older Persons, Labor, Cooperatives, and Consumer Affairs. Let us invite the Minister to the podium.
As I look around, I want to adopt the protocol already established, but I want to recognize some persons who are here. Our Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Degazo and Mrs. Degazo. We have the member of the Diplomatic Corps. Thank you for representing your colleagues today. Our former Minister for Labor, Dr. Poyot and Mr. Poyot. I recognize all the comrades and stalwarts of the trade union movements. I recognize in Mr. Poyot, and that's Lawrence Poyot. I see he has his cap as a general today. Mr. George Goddard, Mr. Julian Monrose. Julian, that's the right thing? I said the right thing there? Yes, I said the right thing. What else? I recognize our guest from the ILO. Now, he has a long name, I'm not sure I can say. But just to say welcome home, he said this is not his first visit here. Let us give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We have Julian Monrose and Cyprian Monrose. Montrop, that's you in the corner there. Okay, Mr. Montrop, sorry about that. Workers, my permanent secretary, staff of the Ministry of Equity, ladies and gentlemen, first let me say thank you for turning up today to an event that is extremely important for us. You may realize that we have shifted the official opening of Labor Day from May 1st to this Sunday. And the main reason why we did so was because of the competition. We are competing with, you know what? Jazz and jazz and jazz. Sometimes we create our own worst enemies. But I'm pleased that you are here and you represent, as the young lady said, all the workers of St. Lucia. So today we gather not merely to observe Labor Day, but to celebrate you, the workers of St. Lucia. Across every sector, public and private, formal and informal, you are the heartbeat of this nation. From our teachers, to our nurses, to our public officers, to our farmers, to our fisher folk, to our construction workers, to our entrepreneurs, and to our service providers. Each of you play a vital role in shaping our country. And today, it is about you. It is about recognizing your sacrifice, your dedication, and your daily commitment to keeping St. Lucia moving forward. It is about acknowledging the long hours, the perseverance through challenges, and the pride that you bring to your work every day. We are here to say simply and sincerely, thank you, merci. Thank you for your resilience in difficult times. Thank you for your contribution to national development. And thank you for the dignity and excellence you bring to your respective fields. As a government, we are not only expressing appreciation, we are also reaffirming our pledge to support and uplift every worker in St. Lucia. And some of you, or most of you, would have listened to the budget debate for the past week. Minister after minister, parliamentary rep after parliamentary rep took time to articulate some of the policies of our government. All of you would know that the St. Lucia Labour Party got its birth from the labor movement. And our Prime Minister every day reminds us that we have to do all in our efforts to hold the spirit of labor up. Fundamentally, ensuring that the philosophy of bread, freedom, and justice remains the heartbeat of our policies. So in this regard, the Department of Labor, Cooperatives and Consumer Affairs has undertaken and will continue to undertake several key initiatives. We are establishing the National Tripartite Advisory Committee to deepen social dialogue, ensuring that government, employers, and workers have a structured and meaningful platform to engage, resolve issues, and shape policies collaboratively. Through this, we aim to build trust, transparency, and balanced decision-making in labor relations. We are advancing the revision of the Labor Act to ensure that our legislative framework is modern, practical, and reflective of today's reality. This includes addressing emerging forms of work, strengthening worker protection, and ensuring that our laws remain relevant in a rapidly changing labor market. We are also developing a suite of regulations to support the Labor Act. This is critical to ensuring fairness and equity in compensation so that workers across all sectors can earn wages that better reflect the cost of living and their contribution to national development. We have taken, and I think Nikolai mentioned it, the first bold step in establishing the minimum wage. And I want again to take this moment to acknowledge the contribution of our former Minister of Labor, Dr. Poyot, and Mr. Lawrence Poyot, and the team that did all the work to cause that to happen. Let us give them a round of applause. In addition, we are developing a national occupational safety and health policy aimed at safeguarding the well-being of every worker. This policy will promote safer workplaces, reduce occupational hazards, and foster a culture where the health and safety of workers are paramount. These initiatives are not just policies, they are commitments to fairness, to dignity, and to the continued advancement of every worker in St. Lucia. I need to tell you that the progress we are making would not be possible without the help of the International Labour Organization. So let us show our appreciation to the ILO. I also want to tell you that the progress that we are making would not be possible without the collaboration of both worker representatives and employer representatives. And I think when I came in, I saw Mr. Gill somewhere, who is the, okay. Sorry, I didn't think I even recognized Mr. Gill earlier, but thank you for the work that you're doing, both Mr. Gill representing Employers Federation and Mr. Monroe representing the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation. Let us show our appreciation, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, today is just about appreciation. Jodia, nous avons célébré Zot, nous avons célébré travailler Saint-Lucie. Nous avons honoré travailler Saint-Lucie et puis nous avons dit merci pour tout travail. Madame l'a dit en commencement, nous avons commencé GWR, manager, et puis tout le monde. Moun qui a nettoyé à terre, janitor, et puis tout le monde et toute qualité de travail qu'il a fait. Principalement à présent, nous avons fait un chai des marches pour garder nous en loi 9 parce que nous voulons assurer. Principalement ces jeunes gens qui travaillent la caillou, différentes qualités de travail sur le computer. Nous voulons assurer qui nous ni en loi, qui a fait tout, qui a recordiser tout ce travail ça là. Alors, moi content nous avons commencé ce travail ça là. Today, je dis pour tout travail simple ici, je dis à ces jours, nous voulons pas seulement aujourd'hui, mais semaine ça là, pour 1er mai, nous avons différentes activités et puis nous avons pour prendre l'enterrement en chaque fait là. L'année chaque monde qui travaille en l'enterrement tous les jours. Alors nous avons pour prendre un moment et regarder ça qu'a fait parce que c'est moun ça là qui travaille. Today, in closing, we want to celebrate you, the worker. I am saying as well for the entire week, from now until the 1st of May, there are various activities that we are going to have, and all of them is to see how best we can uplift our workers, both in the service, private sector and public sector. And I want you, the worker, to pay attention to what is happening, because it is in your interest to understand what we are doing for you, and you need to take a moment to contribute to that conversation, because no other person can make decisions for you than for yourself. So you must not only be active in selecting your representatives, you must be active in shaping the policies that is going to drive the labor market here in this beautiful country. The country is moving forward, and it is moving forward because you are coming to work every day and making your contribution. Today, this week is your week. We celebrate you. We love you. Please take a moment and love yourself. Happy Labor Day, and may you continue to be the strength and pride of our beautiful nation, St. Lucia. May God continue to guide and bless us as we work together and as together we rise. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister, for your wonderful address. And the Minister actually just, made sure that she represented the theme of today, which is a celebration of workers. And that's exactly what today is, a recognition and celebration of workers. And in recognizing and valuing persons, there are some persons that I left. I didn't forget them, I left them for now. And that is Mr. Vern Gill, President of the St. Lucia Employers Federation, Mr. Cyprian Montrop, and this is the gentleman that he knows I have a lot of respect for him. You know, I like his goatee beard when you see, and his speech when you know he does his stuff. And he is the first Vice President of St. Lucia Trade Union Federation. And in here with us, we have a very special person who, you know, this entire, you know, budget revolves around. This is the Budget Director, Fiona Hinkson. Very simple lady, but very powerful in the room. So let's acknowledge them. A round of applause for them for being in attendance. And I have another quote for you before I bring on a very special group. And it says, "The value of labor lies not in what is produced, but in who we become. Through work, we cultivate discipline, resilience, and pride." And I think that is absolutely true for everybody here, because this is what it does for us, and that's how we value work and the labor that we do. We have a special group that will give you a very, very special song that will connect with today. I will not tell you what the song is. I want you to experience it. It is coming from Music Hub, my alma mater, CCSS Secondary School, Castries Comprehensive Secondary School, the best school on island, I will say that, bold like this. And they will tell you, oh yes, Capsec, I mean, we know, yes, you know, it's on, no doubt. And they will perform for you a rendition that you must applaud and stand up to applaud them afterwards. And Music Hub they're the music group within the school, and they are specialized in doing cultural performances. And these are young people led by the tutors, the teachers, that go all about the place, wowing person with the ability to sing and connect with cultural songs. So, I say no more, but let us invite Music Hub to the stage. Round of applause, please. You know, I thought you were going to join in and you were going to stand up and solid. I see, you know, the two of you all sat down there. That's what you're doing. What's going on? Solidarity. A big round of applause for this young group from CCSS. And I mean, it's really good to see young persons, you know, interested in cultural music. And the drummer, I think he has a great future. You know, so great job. So, you know, it is not very often that you have a representative speaking before a minister. And the order had to be juggled last minute. They said, no protocol. This is Labor Day. And so Julian Monrose rises to a higher level. And I guess he'll cut checks today and everything. So let's invite Mr. Julian Monrose. And he is the president of the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation, to address us. Big round of applause for him. He's a gentleman who continues to work and advocate for workers, and he's on so many different groups. At one point, I keep asking, what is his age? Because I've seen this man in all sorts of stuff. I'm like, he doesn't age, he's just there representing workers. If I can retire, yes. Big round of applause for him again. Very active.
Persons that I think were omitted and are critical to the trade union movement, I want to recognize the executive members of the Trade Union Federation, presidents, and other officers of our various unions who are present here today. It's important that we recognize them because they are the ones who are giving leadership to that movement that we have no choice but to sustain and to keep developing. Now I want to alert everyone that I have free speeches. I have one on my phone, one in my head, and one I made notes. So I'm telling you there's a probability that I might move from one to the next. And so please bear with me, but I'll keep within the time. I'm happy with the theme that we have today, celebrating workers. And when you celebrate workers, you celebrate work. And I'm one of those who believe that work was blessed by God. So when you celebrate workers, you celebrate work. It's a form of praising God. I also want to say that I'm very pleased with what I see coming out of the current Labor Department, Department of Labor. I'm very pleased. And I want in part to give thanks to the immediate past Minister of Labor, and maybe we need a lot more trade unionists in government, for the leadership that she provided, and also for the PS who, I think for the first time in the last 2 or 3 years, we had a dedicated PS for labor, and has been doing a fantastic job. We in the trade union movement, we have been, for many, many years, complaining about the Labor Department and telling the Labor Department, wake up, do something, understand the important role that you play in the development of this country. Now so much is happening that when the Labor Department calls on us, we feel so overwhelmed the Labor Department have to be telling us, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. So we are very pleased with that. Thank you, PS, and your team for the great work that you're doing. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I've noticed that you've come in and you're right into it and you're giving the correct leadership. Thank you very much. Okay, let me see. Comrades, fellow workers, today, as we begin the week of celebration of International Labor Day, the Day of Workers, we honor the courage and sacrifice of the pioneers who fought for fair wages, safe workplaces, and dignity on the job. The lessons we must learn from the struggle is that progress is never given. It has to be won. And the other thing we must learn is that if we don't jealously safeguard what we have gained as workers, that can easily be eroded. Today, we begin the celebration of Labor Day. As we begin that celebration, let us recommit ourselves to defending these hard-earned trade union and workers' rights and building a future where every worker is respected, valued, and empowered. And let me say that I could not have been introduced any better than to have these young people, the future of the workforce, singing such a beautiful song, Solidarity Forever, because we need solidarity among our workers, solidarity among our trade unions, solidarity within the movement if we are to achieve the historical mission of our movement. Also, sisters, brothers, Labor Day is meant to pay tribute to the current crop of members of the labor force. Therefore, on behalf of the Trade Union Federation, I thank you for your dedication, hard work, and meaningful contribution to national development. I think it has been said before, without workers, there can be no national development. I also thank those of you who are members of various unions and staff associations for your contribution to the movement. I encourage you, I encourage those of you who are not members of unions to please join. Let us continue to stand together, because when we support each other and we stand together, we all win. We remember that the strength of the union, always remember that, the strength of the union is within its numbers. And the leaders must note that our power comes from the members. And so the members are always, not the leaders, the members are always the most important part of the organization. Let us remember that the labor movement has been built by those who refuse to accept discrimination, those who refuse to accept poor treatment of workers, and those who refuse to accept injustice. We all have a responsibility to contribute to building a future that is fairer, safer, and has more and build a more dignified world of work. This Labor Day, and as we celebrate this week, let us all commit to building that future together. Colleagues, the truth is, we live in a rapidly changing world. This means also that jobs are changing and the workplace environment is changing. Our unions must adjust accordingly in order for us to continue to provide effective and efficient representation of our members and also of the wider workforce. We must not be the selfish type to focus only on members. Why we would be grateful if we can have 100% membership, if the trade union density in St. Lucia could be a lot greater. We must always remember that there are those who are not unionized, and they are workers too. And their struggles are our struggles. Some of them are not in union, not because they don't want to, but because of the attitude of employers towards union, that some of our workers are actually in fear of even talking about union in the workplace. And I know this is not something Mr. Gill endorses at all. I can speak for him on that one. So, we have to make changes to how we operate and function in these rapidly changing times, and that is critical for the future survival and success of unions. Today we must focus also on the role of government as an employer. Must never forget that the government is an employer, and some many times think like the private sector employers. But it also has the critical role of shaping labor relations by establishing laws, mediating in disputes, and promoting fair practices between employers and employees. And that is why, Madam Minister, we welcome the Trade Union Federation. It's something we agitated for, and we welcome the revision of the labor code and the development of the regulations that are very important to go along with the code. We welcome the effort by government finally to set up the tripartite committee where we can, employers, government, workers, representatives, we can sit and look and discuss the issues and come to reasonable positions that can only contribute to the development of the country, the national development. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we look forward, let us stand together in solidarity. Let us draw strength from the legacy of those who came before us and hold firm in the principles that built our movement. Let me go to a note in my head. I want to really thanking the Ministry of Labor, I really want to place on record a special section of the Ministry of Labor, and that is the OSH department, the OSH section. Let me tell you, I am in a position to know the number of issues that we have in the workplace where occupational health and safety matters are concerned. And these people have been there. Very few of them in that department. To few, Madam Minister, we must do something to increase the complement of staff in that section. But they are doing a wonderful job, and I hope, so give them a round of applause. Thank you. And I know because I'm in a position to know because I put the pressure on them. I call them all the time. I say, no, Biziola, but. Okay, so thank you. So let us ensure that we can all work together and build a better St. Lucia. Workers, employers, government working together. When we do that, we shall overcome. Solidarity forever. Long live the workers of St. Lucia. Long live the trade union movement. Forward ever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Monrose. Thank you very much. Long live Mr. Monrose. As he was speaking, it really reflected, my department at Finance, National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, and workers and productivity are absolutely connected. And I have a quote for you. It says, productivity is not just about doing more, but about doing meaningful work that moves us forward. And I think if all what you said, the acknowledgement that you said with the ministry and all what they've been doing, is definitely about moving forward, about productivity, about building on the gains that we have. So thank you again for your address. So I have a simple quiz for you, and Ladera says that they might sponsor that one. If they smile, then it's true. So they smile. So up next, we have an entertainer. Do you all have programs? I hope you all didn't have programs. You all don't have programs, right? So only if you don't have programs, then that will work. Who is Anthony Lewis? An entertainer. Anthony Lewis. Who black? Okay, so you could check Ladera. At some point, they might give you a prize. So we have a very special performer for you. And this entertainer has been known to speak on the plight of workers, pen topical social issues, and put it into song that still resonates with us today. So let's have a rousing round of applause for Her Black.
Good afternoon, everybody. Adubi lumba lumba le, la de la da de la da de la da de la da. Yeah, man. This song is the pride of the hardworking man. Mr. Bossman got angry for so, and tell me don't come to work no more. Hey, da, da, da. He started cursing me, calling me all kinds of stupidity, telling me I am nothing else but lazy. Well, I the worker want to make it clear, so very clear. The boss one is playing the game unfair. Hey, da, da, da. As far as I see, one day's work is peanut money. I asked the boss to raise the boss wanna fire me. Sing with me! One day's work can buy me a pants. One day's work can buy me a shoe. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But tell me what you want me to do. And one day's work can buy me a pants. No, it can buy me a shirt. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But what the hell the workers go do? Somebody make some noise! La de la da de la da de la da de la da. Yeah, man! It's a special Labor Day Lime this afternoon. Me and the bossman, we would agree. If he was facing it rough like me. Hey, da, da, da. If he had to stay without his transport money today, I can every ride passing on the highway. Well, and if when he get the kaka down, not even one t-shirt is up one. Hey, da, da, da. He would say the same, only then would my bossman complain. Only then he wants to feel what I'm feeling. Sing!
One day's work. One day's work. One day's work.
But tell me what you want me to do. And one day's work can buy me a pants. No, it can buy me a shirt. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But what the hell the workers go do? Workers of St. Lucia, how you feeling? La de la da de la da de la da de da da. Why, Lord? I'm sure you can relate to this next verse. I mean, I'm working for the whole week, I still have to play my friends hide and seek. Hey, da, da, da. Because the change I get, I can't afford to give nothing yet. Not even enough to buy them a cigarette. Well, when I got the job, man, I was so glad, so very glad. I thought now I work, things won't be too bad. Hey, da, da, da. But oh, what misery, my trials and crosses now I see. I must overwork to care for my farm. Sing with me!
One day's work. One day's work. One day's work.
But tell me what you want me to do. And one day's work can buy me a pants. No, it can buy me a shirt. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But what the hell the workers go do? Somebody make some noise! La de, la da de, la da de, la da de, la da. Yeah, man. Now this is my special verse of this song. Saltfish was nothing some years ago, some years ago. Well, all of a sudden the price just grow. Da, da, da. Even lollipop, I tell you, boss, when the price jack up. Now it costs $4 to drink a coconut. Well, well, check how many days I have to work. I have to work to be able to buy every bar. Da, da, da. But to say something, I have to go on a dread fasting. 40 days and 40 nights is what spending. Sing!
One day's work. One day's work. One day's work.
But tell me what you want me to do. And one day's work can buy me a pants. Oh, it can buy me a shirt. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But what the hell the workers go do? Workers of St. Lucia, make some noise. Remember, it's a special Labor Day line. And we're having a good time. I want you to join in with the chorus with me now. Let me go, everybody. One day's work can buy me a pants. One day's work can buy me a shirt. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But tell me what you want me to do. And one day's work can buy me a pants. Oh, it can buy me a shirt. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But what the hell the workers go do? Thank you so very much for having me here this afternoon. It is an honor to be here with you people. Enjoy the rest of your show. Thanks so much.
2, 1. Oh, I saw you jumping for that, Lisa, and all of you were jumping for that one. You know, one day's work. I would have joined him on stage, but I didn't want, for Her Black to be, taking half the thunder from Her Black, but, very, very good. A round of applause for Her Black. This song is classic, and every time he performs it, apart from Suzette, I would have told you Uncle and bring on Suzette, but it's not a Suzette day today. Oh, Suzette outside? The real Suzette is outside? Oh, so we have a treat. Okay, so as Her Black was singing this song, it brought me to a joke that I have that you must laugh. And it says, it's an employee says, "Boss, I need a vacation." And the boss says, "Didn't you just have one?" And he says, "No, boss, that was the weekend." Yeah, so this side is very good, very good. So now get my money's worth. All right, so we have a gentleman all the way from the ILO, and he has a very wonderful name, Dr. Johnny Musabayana. Musabayana. Dr. Johnny Musabayana. I practiced that so much and I still said Masa. Musabayana. And so, it is really a pleasure to have him here, and he is the director of the ILO Decent Work Team and Office of the Caribbean. So let's welcome him as he comes to address us.
I don't know how to proceed after that fantastic song. One day work, buy me a shoe. Let me start on all protocol observed, but allow me, Chief Cabinet Secretary, to honor Honorable Minister Hill Poet, who recently joined us. But really allow me to start by thanking Dr. Poyot, because indeed she stands on her shoulders. And we are here today because of her. So Dr. Poyot, I really want to thank you. I, of course, recognize the comrades. The comrades, it's your day. And Mr. Monrose and your team. I want to also acknowledge the PS of Labor, Ms. Imbet. Thank you very much for all the collaboration that we've had. I last but not least want to also acknowledge Mr. Van Gils, representing employers sitting here today, enjoying with the workers. Thank you very much. When I was given 5 minutes, I thought, how can they ask me to come here and talk only for 5 minutes? But then I thought they want me to say something very specific. The celebration of workers. And I want to talk about only one concept, social dialogue. So the ILO promotes decent work, which rests on 4 strategic pillars, right? Employment promotion, protection, and dialogue, the 4th one. This 4th one is both a means, but also a goal in itself. And allow me to observe just a little bit. Looking at your country, looking back 20 years ago, the preponderance of one crop agriculture driving the economy. Now 20 years later, agriculture is now only contributing 3% to your GDP. Tourism is contributing 65% to your GDP. You also have banking services, you also have manufacturing, so your economy has become much more complex, much more sophisticated, and it's moving forward. Your labor force participation rate, 71%, very high. Your unemployment rate, concerningly around 14%, much higher than your regional average, so that's something to be looked at. But overall, then you see a country that's going forward, an economy that's becoming more complex, much more modernized. And so what is my point? An economy like this can no longer, the labor market of an economy that's growing, that's becoming more complex, cannot be managed by the structures and processes of an economy that was largely a single crop, one really agricultural economy. Capsec, I hope you are with me. So, if we are to modernize the labor market, to move at the same time with the economy that is modernizing, it is therefore correct that you are modernizing your labor legislation. So I want to thank you very much for that. Because labor law must catch up with the complexity, the evolving complexity. But I'm here to talk about social dialogue. I therefore want to say this. If we say we're celebrating workers, and Honorable Minister talked about it, the issue of dignity. You cannot give dignity to workers if workers have no voice. If workers don't have structured voice. And the vehicle for giving workers structured voice is through institutionalizing social dialogue. So I came all the way because I'm very happy that you are establishing a National Tripartite Advisory Council. That is the structured place to give workers voice on policy formulation, voice on policy implementation, and voice on the working conditions of the workers. We heard Mr. Monroe saying he would directly call the Occupational Health and Safety section. Well, now there's a Tripartite Advisory Council. This is the forum where workers are to bring their issues. This is the forum where workers will show that they are capable of actively contributing to the development process of the country. So I came to laud you, to thank you, and to be with you on this celebration of workers as you give workers voice in a structured manner through the establishment of the National Tripartite Advisory Council. For that, I thank you, and for that it was worthwhile for us to come all the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Musa Bayana. I had to make sure that I could say it properly, practiced at the back. Okay, so now we have a very special aspect to this event. We cannot have a Labor Day, a celebration of workers without the recognition of workers. And so this is an opportunity now for us to say thank you, for us to recognize some of the persons who have labored in that vineyard so that we today can benefit from all the efforts that you've made. And we'll have an interactive activity right now. And I'm going to call up the presenters afterwards. So after the awardees, the message will be played. Then I will call up the presenters to present the awards. So our first is Mr. Athanasius Zulor. The video will play.
Mr. Athanasius Adola's involvement in trade unionism and industrial relations began in 1978. He attended and participated in a series of workshops, both regionally and locally, which were conducted by the International Labour Organization and the Caribbean Congress of Labour. Mr. Zulor obtained a certificate in industrial relations from the George Meany Center for Labor Studies in Washington, D.C. He was involved in negotiations with the government of St. Lucia on behalf of daily paid workers employed at the constituency councils of Vieux-Fort South, Vieux-Fort North, Choiseul, Labrie, and Micoud North. His greatest achievement as a trade unionist includes ex gratia award as an article in collective agreement whereby all non-established public servants, daily paid workers, benefit from a monetary reward upon retirement after being employed for a period of years. He received a proposal for permanent employment for workers after being in continuous employment for a period of 2 years with the public service for employees of town and village constituency councils.
Round of applause, please. So he's not present, but Ms. Chantal Peter will collect on his behalf. And Mr. Auguste Desgazons, could you please present this award? Yes, and please come up. Thank you very much. Our next awardee is Mrs. Crescentia Phillips John.
Mrs. Crescentia Phillips John was born on May 5th, 1994 in Castries, St. Lucia. She received her early education at the Castries Methodist Primary School in 1951 and later attended Kingsley College in 1959. She obtained school leaving certificates with passes in history, literature, and geography. In 1963, Mrs. Phillips John began her professional career as an accounts clerk at Minville and Shasley. She later joined the Seamen and Waterfront General Workers Union in 1970, where she rose from the position of accounts clerk to general secretary in 1975. That same year, she played a pivotal role in transforming the union from a dock union into a general union, increasing its membership by approximately 50%. In addition to her demanding responsibilities as general secretary, Mrs. Phillips John frequently undertook the role of organizer, engaging in negotiations, handling grievances, and lecturing at various trade union seminars. In recognition of her outstanding contributions, she was appointed to the Administrative Council of the Caribbean Congress of Labour on October 23, 1995. She also represented the Caribbean Congress of Labour as delegate at the International Confederation of Free Trade Unions 16th World Congress held in Brussels in June 1995. Throughout her career, Mrs. Phillips-John participated in numerous training programs related to trade unionism, industrial relations, and collective bargaining, to name a few. In recognition of her dedicated community service, Mrs. Phillips-John was awarded the L'Hôpital Medal Gold in 1997. In August 1998, she was appointed a Justice of the Peace of St. Lucia. She also served as a member of the National Insurance Corporation Board and represented the board on the committee of the St. Lucia Development Bank.
And we call on Mr. Vern Gill to make this presentation. And she is not here, and we call on Ms. Lilia Auguste to receive on her behalf. Thank you very much. Our next awardee is Senator Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot.
Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot is a dedicated women's rights activist and people-centered leader. She has contributed significantly to advancing gender equality at the community, national, and regional levels. Her expertise spans trade union education, human rights advocacy, human resource development, education policy analysis, collective bargaining, project management, leadership development, and gender sensitivity. She has held several leadership roles within the St. Lucia Teachers Union, becoming its president at the age of 26, and has worked with teacher unions across 27 Caribbean countries. She also served as regional coordinator for North America and the Caribbean with Education International and was part of its global management body. Her union activism includes participation in St. Lucia's longest public sector strike in 1979, as well as regional and international advocacy efforts, including support for teachers affected by disasters and engagement in labor demonstrations. She served as Minister for the Public Service, Home Affairs, Labor and Gender Affairs, and was appointed as a senator in December 2025. During her tenure as a minister, she achieved key milestones, such as establishing a national minimum wage, and was involved in the ratification of 2 fundamental ILO conventions, strengthening labor relations and securing benefits for workers.
And we call on Ms. Lisa Goodman, General Secretary of the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation, to make the presentation, and Dr. Poyot to receive the award. Round of applause, please. Our 4th awardee is Mr. George Goddard.
Mr. George Goddard is an industrial relations practitioner and a trade unionist who served as General Secretary of one of St. Lucia's foremost trade unions, the National Workers' Union, for well over 25 years. Before serving as the organization's General Secretary, he had served as its Research Officer, Assistant General Secretary, and a member of its Central Committee. He has been part of teams negotiating collective agreements in both the public and the private sectors, nationally and at a regional level. Apart from its day-to-day trade union and industrial relations engagement, he has lectured in industrial relations and trade union studies in Antigua, Curacao, Venezuela, and right here at home in St. Lucia. As well as being an eminently qualified industrial relations expert, he holds an MBA degree in management with distinction from the Cave Hill School of Business, University of the West Indies.
Round of applause. invite Mr. Gollard to the stage, as well as Mrs. Sheila Imbert, Permanent Secretary in the Department of Labor, to present the award. Round of applause, please. Well done. Thank you very much. Our fifth awardee is somebody that we know is well deserving of this recognition, Mr. Julian Monrose.
Mr. Julian Monroe served the education system in St. Lucia as a teacher and later as principal of the St. Aloysius Boys Primary School. He also served the St. Lucia Teachers Union as president, first vice president, branch representative for Castries, shop steward, and member of several internal committees. Through his representation of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, he was elected founding vice president of the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation, TUF, and currently serves the organization as its president. As president of the federation, he has on many occasions been the lead negotiator for wages and conditions of work on behalf of public sector workers, as well as on behalf of other groups of workers. At the regional level, for 3 consecutive biennial conferences, Mr. Monroe served the Caribbean Union of Teachers as chairman of the Resolutions Committee. He also served as 3rd vice president and chairman of the Sports Committee, 2nd vice president with responsibility for industrial relations, and later president over a period of 2 biennia as a program officer. Currently, Mr. Monroe is Assistant General Secretary of the St. Lucia Civil Service Association with responsibility for industrial relations.
Invite Mr. Monrose up, and Mrs. Barbara Ann Francis Augustine, DPS in the Department of Labor, to present the award. Look this way. Round of applause, please. Thank you very much. And the last awardee for today, but by no means least, this gentleman, when I entered the service, was my first General Secretary at the CSA, and he continues to serve workers, Mr. Lawrence Poyot.
Mr. Lawrence Poyot served as Assistant General Secretary of the St. Lucia Farmers and Farm Workers Union from 1978 to 1979. He then worked with the National Workers Union from January 1980 to August 1997, where he held the positions of Research and Mobilization Officer, Assistant Secretary, Second Vice President, and Editor and Graphic Artist for Combat, the official organ of the NWU. During this period of employment, he was responsible for mobilization and recruitment of members, grievance handling, collective bargaining, coordinating and organizing seminars and other educational activities, and ensuring the timely publication of Combat. From November 1997 to July 2003, he served as General Secretary of the St. Lucia Civil Service Association with responsibility that included, but not limited to, collective bargaining, mobilization and recruitment of new members, grievance handling, working with Education Committee to organize training activities and administration. He returned to the National Workers Union from September 2003 to April 2021, where he held several roles, including Research and Mobilization Officer, Vice President, Grievance and Mobilization Officer, Industrial Relations Officer, and Senior Industrial Relations Officer. From March 20, 2022 to October 2024, he served again with the St. Lucia Civil Service Association as Industrial Relations Officer and Assistant General Secretary. He is formally trained in industrial relations, paralegal studies, and occupational safety and health, and has attended numerous seminars and conferences locally, regionally, and internationally. He also served on the Labor Code Task Force, the Constitution Reform Commission, and the Committee for the Review of the Work Permit legislation. Mr. Poyet currently serves as chairman of the Minimum and Equal Wages Commission and served in several other committees and statutory boards.
Welcome in, and we invite Honorable Emma Hippolyte to present this award. Round of applause, please. I thought he didn't want to come up the stage. So a round of applause for all our awardees, well deserved. And it's important to say thank you, to recognize persons, and to say, we appreciate you. And this is a small token that you could, place in a special place to say that you are not forgotten at all. So we're changing the mood, we're changing the atmosphere, and we're bringing on an energetic performer for you, taking you into what will be happening post-jazz. And so we invite our reigning Calypso monarch to perform for us. I'm not sure if he has a car, what he will be doing, but we're inviting Desrel Long. Round of applause for him, please.
Hi, good evening. How are y'all doing? Good night. Our Ayanola nation is changing generations, so we need a seamless plan. As the older ones are going, the younger ones must flow into. This we all must understand, to ensure our heroes don't disappear as heroes. Let's raise them publicly. Let their contribution guide our further actions. That's what we call their legacy. Yes, the legacy. To protect the legacy. Leaders of this land, understand, you must make a succession plan. There must always be some younger ones like thee, bubbling with zeal, like they feel they're ready to take the wheel. Beat the drum, here I come, like a bomb, I'm explosive, the legacy of the mighty Pep. I am young, but I'm strong, and my songs are corrosive, and I know I'll earn your respect. So look at me, I'm the living legacy. What a mighty man of this land, a Kaisotan, who has made a succession plan. Hey, boy, yo, yo. Now we're singing legacy for the people who left a great legacy of work. Thank you very much for your hard work. I did not plan to sing that one, but apparently I sent the wrong mix. All around the country have endless guns. In the night I can't sleep, they're shooting rounds. Every gunman boasting he have the biggest gun, whether it's in Castries or somewhere out of town. Juju say that he have a bazooka. Claudia say that he have a ratata. But as far as I can see, our biggest gun is Julian Alfred from Always Cicero. She shooting like a bullet across the track, Miss Juju. A trigger she pulling and she will crack them for true. Shooting like a star with confidence, raising up a bar of excellence on a flying carpet, hitting every target, shooting them for fun, the Juju gun. Not too long from now, when Olympics start, tell Paris she come in, Juju, Juju, we big gun come in, Juju, Juju. Juju on the tracks, lighting up St. Lucian hearts. Tell Paris she come in, Juju, Juju, we big gun come in. She coming for them Jamaicans and the Yankee too. She coming to show what Lucia can do. She's very and the PM too. All of we go enjoy the view. On the starting gun, she go shoot right back. Tell Paris she come in, Juju, Juju, we big gun come in. Guns don't kill people, that is not a fact. Cause Julian Alfred come in and she killing them on the track. I'm so sorry for skipping films. Thank you very much for all your hard work, all the awardees. I love y'all. Thank you.
Today is not the car day, not the car day. So let's thank Desriel for his performance. And as he said in his opening line, this is about legacy. Mr. Monroe said it, the minister said it. Everything that happens today with workers, we're building a legacy. Everything builds on each other because I think in times past, we didn't have maternity benefits. We didn't have a number of benefits, and all those things build on each other, builds a legacy, and we need to add on to it. So we're going now for paternity benefits, 6 months for men, okay? 6 months, that's what we want. Don't let the ladies laugh there, we want our 6 months too. So, we now call upon the Prime Minister is not here, but we have the CAPSEC who's going to be delivering an address on his behalf. And we now call Mr. Augusta Degazon, who will be delivering remarks on behalf of the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Cabinet Secretary.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Honorable Emma Hipley, Minister of Labor, your predecessor, former Minister of Labor, Senator Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, and Mr. Poyot, former Cabinet Secretary, my mentor. I also want to recognize Dr. Musa Bayana, I hope I got this right, for the ILO, Mr. Vernon Gale of the Employers Federation. We also have the representatives from the Embassy of Mexico. Welcome. We have the President of the Trade Union Federation, Mr. Julian Monroe, a stalwart in the labor movement. Welcome. Mr. Montreux, I also want to recognize you, Mr. Gordon, and all of the other awardees this afternoon. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labor, I'm so happy to hear of all of the commendations and well wishes coming from the audience. Well deserved, I must say to you. Your Deputy Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Barbara and Francis Augustine. Workers, the reason we are here today, I also recognize members of the media. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. The Prime Minister sends his deepest regrets that he's unable to attend today's official launch of Labor Day 2026. He remains firmly committed to the labor movement and sends his best wishes for a successful event. it would have taken something very, very special to have kept the Prime Minister away from what is so very dear to his heart, the labor movement, no pun intended. And he deeply regrets that he's not able to be here with us. But he's asked me to deliver some very brief remarks on his behalf. I know I have some very big shoes to fill, but I'll try my best. It is not very often that one gets the opportunity to deliver remarks on behalf of the Prime Minister, and as such, I am deeply honored to do so. I want to start off by first recognizing the importance of Labor Day as a day of reflection, unity, and action for workers across St. Lucia. We must acknowledge the resilience of our St. Lucian workers. Tribute must also be paid to the pioneers of the labor movement, and we have many in our midst today, who fought for fair wages, decent working conditions, and respect on the job. Over the years, workers from the various sectors have contributed to the growth of the economy. Tourism workers who power the country's main economic engine, public servants who keep the government functioning, farmers and fishers who sustain food security, construction workers who drive infrastructural development, and small business owners, uninformal workers who support our communities. Every worker in every community plays a vital role in building this nation. Trade unions have played a critical role in the development of our country by providing effective representation to their members. The government has also played its part by enacting various pieces of legislation to protect the rights of workers. I believe that even more can be done and achieved if trade unions see themselves and are seen as partners as opposed to adversaries. This partnership model is a strategic and symbiotic approach to industrial relations that emphasizes collaboration, mutual respect, and shared goals, instead of focusing on the traditional adversarial style. In October 2024, the government of St. Lucia made a bold and progressive move by introducing a national minimum wage. In 1991, one of St. Lucia's legendary calypsonians, the Black, and you saw him performing earlier this afternoon, released his classic song, One Day's Work, and I mean a real classic. He lamented the fact that the bossman was playing the game unfair and wanted to fire him because he asked for a pay rise. 35 years later, I think the Black will agree that the government has made it a lot easier for workers in this country with the implementation of the minimum wage. The minimum wage discussion has brought to the fore the other side of the equation. It is a well-established principle in law and management that rights come with responsibilities. You would have heard the saying, a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. One of the favorite quotes of my wife, who is seated right here with me. This slogan emphasizes the reciprocal agreement between the employer and the employee and highlights the need for increased productivity in the workplace. I believe so much in the slogan that I just want to repeat it. A fair day's work for a fair day's play, for a fair day's pay. For the mathematicians in the room, that is just what an equation is. It signifies balance, equilibrium. It is like a scale The left side must be equal to the right side. The government of St. Lucia, under the leadership of the Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre, has done their part to the minimum wage, a fair day's pay. And so now we look forward to the workers of this country to deliver on their part, the other side of the equation, a fair day's work. The minimum wage discussion, as I said, is so important that I had reason to just repeat it. It was Jim Rohn who said, and I quote, "You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour." I repeat, you don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. Therefore, consistent with the partnership model I alluded to earlier, and to ensure workplace equilibrium, it is critical that both parties observe this principle. In so doing, it will redound to the benefit of us all. In addition to the introduction of a minimum wage, the government can point to several other notable achievements for workers in St. Lucia, including: 1, job creation through infrastructure and development projects; 2, skills training programs for youth and displaced workers; 3, support for small businesses and entrepreneurship; 4, ongoing dialogue with unions and stakeholders; 5, targeted social support programs; 6, continued efforts to stabilize prices and strengthen local production. You heard the Prime Minister speak a lot about growing what you eat and eating what you grow. 7, expanding opportunities in technology, services, and creative industries. And 8, encouraging entrepreneurship and innovation. This is a reflection of the government's empathy and accountability, and a display of leadership that listens and responds. As we move forward together in building a stronger and more resilient economy, the government of St. Lucia will continue to protect workers' rights and dignity. You have heard Dr. Musa Bayana speak all about that fourth pillar, social dialogue. Growth must benefit not just a few, but every St. Lucian family. The government reaffirms its commitment to providing safer workplaces, ensuring fair treatment of workers, modernizing the labor laws, and recognizing trade unions, there we go again, as partners in progress. In delivering his 2026-2027 budget address on April 21, 2026, the Prime Minister and Minister for Finance reported that the Department of Labor had initiated a comprehensive review of the Labor Act and its regulations. He also announced that the government will, 1, advance discussions on a contributory pension scheme for public servants; 2, develop unemployment insurance mechanisms for NIC contributors; 3, establish insurance and pension support systems for farmers and fishers in collaboration with NIC, registered farmers organizations, and fishers cooperatives; 4, advance legislation for the enactment of a diaspora bill; and 5, I think Dr. Musa Bayana and Mr. Julian Monroe would love to hear this one, establish a national tripartite advisory committee, which, by the way, will be launched this week on Wednesday, April 29, 2026, at the Finance Administrative Center. I welcome all of you to attend. In closing, On behalf of the Prime Minister, I reaffirm the government's mantra of putting people first and call for solidarity and unity among all stakeholders to achieve greatness from our combined efforts. I invite all of you to attend the Liberty Thanksgiving Church service on 1st of May 2026 at the Bethel Pentecostal Church in San Souci. Happy International Labor Day. I thank you.
Thank you very much, CAPSEC. Thank you for those words. And those words, as said, delivered on behalf of the Prime Minister. So, well, thank you, Prime Minister. And I know, as you said, he is most likely very caught up. That's why he can't be at this major event. You know, while you were speaking, I realized, I may have to negotiate. And when you go negotiating, say it's from the Prime Minister. Say, I don't get paid by the hour, but by the value I deliver per hour. That's for the next raise, okay? So make sure you quote that. You said it was delivered on behalf of the Prime Minister, but it's the Prime Minister's words. There's another quote that I have there. I got prepared for this activity, and it says, hard work is the foundation of every success story. Today we celebrate the builders, not just of today, but of tomorrow. And very apt as we celebrate International Labor Day today, right? And it's very, very apt. So we're going to call on a gentleman that I told you, I have a lot of respect for, and Mr. Cyprian Montrop. He's going to come to give the vote of thanks. And I know, if I know this gentleman, he will not just give a vote of thanks. He will say something. He's passionate about workers. So let's welcome Mr. Cyprian Montrop as he gives the vote of thanks. And he's the first Vice President of the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation.
Thank you, Masters of Ceremony. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Permit me to adopt the protocol that has already been established and to go into what most of us would be thankful for. This activity, as we all know, could not have come together if somebody or a team did not come together to put everything in perspective so that we could have enjoyed not just today, but the rest of the week. The Planning Committee, I'd like to thank the Planning Committee, the Ministry of Labor, PSU and your team did a wonderful job. As we can see, the beginning is already showing mushroom into something big. Thank you for that Planning Committee. Come on. And haven't they started a wonderful job? Right. But we must also, while I thank them first, but I should have thanked the Almighty, of course, for giving them the wisdom, courage to be able to do what we are doing here today and for the rest of the week. Having sat there and listened to the commencement of the activity, I was kind of taken aback because this is the first for me, having heard the national anthem being sung in Creole. I think that was a marvelous job, and we must thank Mr. Bither Antoine for that. I hope that we can get training so that all of us can do it together the next time. We also had in the beginning the Almighty presence as well in song. We had Ms. Achelle Bureau and Vincent Pierre. And the first song they chose was very welcoming to the trade union movement and also to every worker in this country. No longer a slave to fear. And we would have heard in some of the messages today, workers are scared of joining unions because of X, Y, and Z. Workers are scared for many things. And so that song is very apt for the workers. It should not be a song for today. It should be a song that every morning you rise in the morning you should be able to sing and be able to do some meaningful introspection as you go into work. So thank you so much for choosing those songs to bless us with our proceedings. Mr. Master of Ceremony, I think he has been doing an exceptional job this afternoon. At some times he tried to make you laugh, and at some times he just wanted you to know something. So that was very good of him. Thank you, Masters of Ceremony, Mr. Glenn Simon. The ceremony started with our Deputy Labor Commissioner telling us of the many challenges that we as workers and employers would be facing and how we have to make those adjustments to those changes. And so we want to thank you, Mr. Nikolai Lancico, for those messages that you provided to us this afternoon in helping us understand and shape and helping us to follow what we need to do if we have to continue to have a productive workforce. We also had a young lady, Miss Shine Savory, who provided us with a very, very interesting perspective on work in poem, and I think she did a marvelous job at it. I see her head is down, but I think she's waiting for her turn, right? Madam Minister, thank you so much for bringing so much information to us this afternoon. Many other speakers would have spoken on it, and it is something that had started, and you are continuing, and you brought that to light with us, reminding us of the tripartite committee that we in the trade union have been waiting for the longest while, including the Employers Federation, who have been waiting for that. The revision of the Labor Act and the regulations, given the change in times, and again coming from the remarks provided by the Deputy Labor Commissioner with regards to the change in environment. We welcome that, and thank you for those words of messages. Sorry. I am not sure if I want to say that, but I want to add that my comrade here, I'm not sure if he was looking at my script, but he said something that was in my script when I heard her black song, One Day's Work, and it instantly reminded me of the minimum wage. And so we wanted to, I'm not sure if that was his philosophy when he came to sing that song, but it is the message that was brought to us. We must thank him for that, to remind us that one day's work will not buy a shoe for us without a minimum wage. Although he didn't speak to the minimum wage, but we want to give credit to his song in that regard. Also, we want to thank the Music Hub. Very interesting in the sense that Solidarity song has traditionally been sung on stage with people just shouting, but I've never seen it from a cultural perspective. And I think that is very excellent of them, and it tells us that the arts are working well in this country. Thank you so much for that. My president, Comrade Julian Monrose, he told us what we needed to hear, which is what the trade union movement is all about, the protection of workers, the right to protect ourselves and the right for employers to recognize the hard work that workers put into everything. And also, key to his message in general, when you listen to every context of it, he spoke primarily to the word solidarity. The need for us to come together and have that level of camaraderie and discussion that can bring forward the fruit that is necessary to get the workforce and the economy as a whole in its most productive way. Thank you, comrade, for that message. Our guest speaker, thank you so much for reminding us that your message was in line with what other speakers would have said when you spoke to social dialogue. Solidarity cannot happen we cannot have social dialogue if solidarity don't exist. And so social dialogue is key to getting us where we need to go. And the minister would have spoke of the tripartite committee, which is also telling us that we are moving. You know, it started in order, it came from there first, right? In order Thank you for reminding us that there is need for social dialogue to continue, and it's one of the pillars that will help us to achieve what we need to achieve from the tripartite organization, the labor, government, and the employers. Thank you for that message. We also need to thank the awardees, because traditionally, what we are enjoying today is because those pioneers have worked tirelessly in the background to bring us to where we are today. We are enjoying nice offices, nice conditions of work. We continuously need to negotiate those things, but it's a work in progress. I want to thank them for the efforts that they have placed, and of course they are those that were selected were well awarded. Thank you. Thank you. My comrade, who spoke on behalf of the Prime Minister, Cabinet Sec, Mr. De Gaza, we want to thank you for the messages that you brought to remind us that of the government's commitment to the movement, to the labor movement, and the policies that the government have enunciated in the 2026 budget that will help transform and shape the way we do things in this country. And also for reminding us also that government is committed to seeing us having that partnership that needs to exist. And of course, we can see from each speaker before speaking of that tripartite approach arrangement that is necessary for us to move the industrial climate of St. Lucia into a better place, a more peaceful environment, given that that body is set to discuss matters before it can escalate into something that is not of the best for anybody, neither the worker, neither the government, neither the employers in the private sector. So thank you for those messages. We have one more artist who sang. I also want to thank you, Mr. Desra Long, who spoke of the legacy, building on legacy. So we want to thank you for that. And we want to thank you, every single one of you who attended and of course are listening to us in the online platform, for attending this event and making this event a success. Sometimes we expect big numbers, but the numbers is you going out and spread the word that you have received here today. Just as the priest would say, go forth and, right? So you go out there and you express what you have learned here today. Thank you so much for that, the media, for covering us today. And if I did miss out on any individual or group that would have made a contribution, we want to thank you immensely for all those contributions that you have made in making this event a success. Thank you, my colleagues, and good evening.
Mr. Montrop, you forgot a very special, as usual, you forgot somebody. So let me thank you, Mr. Montrop, for delivering the vote of thanks. So this brings us to the transition point of our day. This is not the end. So all of you who want to go to jazz, here's better. Here's better. So let me remind you of what you came to. You came to the official launch of Labor Day Activities 2026, a celebration of workers. And this activity was organized and is organized by the Department of Labor, Cooperatives and Consumer Affairs in collaboration with the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation and the St. Lucia Employers Federation. A round of applause for all the organizers and for this activity. So as I said, this is not the end. So when we conclude this aspect of the activities, we invite you outside where there'll be performers like Jürgen, Robbie, Her Black, Ashanti, Desrel, Nerdy, and Ezra, and more. So, and there are lots to eat and drink, and I see some children around, hopefully, that there are activities for them. Yes? And there are refreshments for everybody. There are refreshments for everybody. So not just Ladera will be offering you things, but you also have refreshments outside. So thank you very much. You are a wonderful audience, and have an enjoyable rest of your Sunday. Happy Labor Day.